Reconcile your eForm 119. This presentation is intended to provide an overview of the eForm 119 reconciliation process. Through this presentation, you will learn how to review and understand dashboard totals in eAccess, how to balance your contributions, how to generate pension reports, and how to reconcile. Before reconciling, employers often find it helpful to run a membership data extract. Though not a mandatory step, this allows you to compare what has been reported to OMERS against your payroll records in order to ensure accuracy. Once you have performed any final checks, all tabs in the dashboard must be reviewed before you reconcile. Let's walk through each step of this process and take a look at what is required in order to reconcile successfully. A membership data extract can be completed at any point throughout the 119 process. It will summarize the reported contributory earnings, credited service, RPP contributions, and pension adjustment for each of your members. It will also include the financial information reported through the eForm 143 for members that terminated or retired during the reconciliation year. This membership data extract is also used to create the PA file, which will be used for T4 reporting. If you are unsure on how to run a data extract, there is a tip sheet available in eAccess which provides you with the step-by-step instructions on how to extract the data and convert it in Excel for easy manipulation. Before reviewing all the tabs, it is important to refresh your dashboard. This will ensure that the most current information will be displayed in each of the tabs. The refresh process may take a couple of minutes. You will know that the refresh has completed when the date timestamp is updated. Once your dashboard is refreshed, click on Review next to the current reconciliation year and proceed with reviewing each tab. The Totals tab displays totals of eForm 119 transactions that have been submitted on the left and eForm 119 transactions that have not been submitted on the right. You can only proceed with reconciliation when all submitted requests appear under Section A, Completed. In this case, you can see that all 262 eForm 119 requests have been completed, and you would therefore be able to move on and review the next tab. The Other tab provides you with a summary of any outstanding eForm 119 requests that you have initiated for inactive members or for members who have already submitted an eForm 119 request. It will also display a total for any eForm 143s you have initiated in eAccess to report a member event such as retirement or termination. Please note that this captures all eForm 143s you have initiated and not just member events that occurred in the current reconciliation year. In order to reconcile, you must ensure that any requests under eForm 119 Inactive Membership section are for members that have terminated, retired, or are on an approved disability waiver. Since you have previously reported the financial data when you reported the member event, an eForm 119 request is not required. You can therefore delete these requests. Any requests under eForm 119 adjustments are for members you have already reported eForm 119 data for. If you want to adjust the information you originally reported, submit the second eForm 119 request. If this is just a duplicate, delete it. Any requests under eForm 143 for member events that occurred during the reconciliation year must be submitted. Remember that any current year member events will not impact your reconciliation. The next tab you will review is your Contributions tab. There are 3 different columns in this tab, broken down by RPP and RCA. The first column is column B, Total Member Contributions Remitted to OMERS. This column reflects any member contributions reported on your Form 105s for the 2016 reconciliation year. The second column is column C, Total Member Contributions Reported to OMERS. This column reflects any member contributions reported on Form 119s or Form 143s. These 2 columns should be fairly in line, as what you are reporting should match what was remitted. There are times, however, where there is a difference between the two amounts, and this difference is reflected in column A, the difference between reported and remitted amounts. These differences result in a credit, shown in black, or an invoice, shown in red. Although you can reconcile with the difference, it is important that your accounts are balanced and that the difference does not exceed a 5% variance. If your RPP and RCA amounts are not balanced, meaning you have a credit in one account or an invoice in another, you must send an e-correspondence to OMERS asking us to move the funds. You will need to indicate the credit amount you will be using to cover the invoice in the other account. Remember that you must double the amounts when requesting these transfers, as the Contributions tab only shows members' contributions. For example, if you have an invoice balance of $100 in RCA contributions and a credit balance of $100 in RPP contributions, then you will request to move $200 from the credit balance to the invoice balance. Once the request is sent through e-correspondence, you may continue with your reconciliation review. The actual balance transfer may take anywhere from 1 to 3 business days, but will not hold up the reconciliation process on e-access. Once the funds are moved and the dashboard is refreshed, the Contributions tab will populate the adjusted totals. If you will be reconciling with a credit or invoice balance, where the difference between what was remitted and what was reported is 5% or greater, you must provide us with a written explanation detailing the reason for the variance. Please send an e-correspondence to OMERS with the explanation, and you can continue on with the reconciliation review. Next, you must start to generate pension reports. Only turn this indicator to yes when you are certain that you want reports to begin generating. Remember that pension reports must be generated by June 30th in order to be in compliance with the Pension Benefit Act. If this indicator has not been switched to yes by mid-June, OMERS will do it for you. If you are ready to reconcile before mid-June, click yes besides Generate Pension Reports and then click Save. Once you have clicked on Save, a confirmation window will appear. Click OK to begin producing pension reports for your members. This is how the Pension Reports tab will appear once pension reports have begun generating. If you identify that an error has occurred with your pension reports, please contact Client Services and request that we stop the production. We will do our best to prevent those reports from being produced and mailed. Depending on timing, however, it is possible that we may not be able to stop the mailing of the report. For this reason, it is best practice to only generate your pension reports at the time of reconciliation and not throughout your eForm 119 processing. The Contact tab will display the contact information of your Form 119 reconciliation lead. If this information is incorrect, please provide OMERS with a Form 109B, updating employer information. This form will have to be signed by a senior management official and is the only way to update the contact information under this tab. In the Employer's Info tab, you specify contact information. You must specify a primary contact. However, a secondary contact is optional. This is who we will contact if we have any questions regarding the eForm 119 request. Once the required contact is populated, click Save and move on to the final tab. The final tab is the Reconcile 2017 tab. Under this tab, you must click the Reconcile button on the bottom right in order to reconcile for the year. Administrators often make the mistake of believing the process is completed by simply clicking the Reconcile tab. However, it is not until you click the Reconcile button that the reconciliation process actually begins. Once you click the Reconcile button, an alert window will appear to finalize the process. The alert window that will appear reminds you that the action does not complete immediately. You will need to review the status of the reconciliation under your dashboard to see if it has been processed on OMERS end. Once the reconciliation process has started, the dashboard will show processing next to the reconciliation year. You will know that the reconciliation has completed on OMERS end once the reconciliation year appears under the completed Form 119 section and the ANR 125 link appears. Please check back periodically until your Form 119 has successfully reconciled. Sometimes, reconciliation does not complete successfully and further action must be taken. Common reasons for unsuccessful reconciliation include incomplete eForm 119 requests still on dashboard, inactive member eForm 119 requests have not been deleted, adjustments to eForm 119 requests have not been fully processed. All three of these potential reasons can be viewed under the Other tab. Remember that inactive eForm 119s and eForm 119 adjustments must be 0 in this tab in order for reconciliation to be successful. Some other reasons that reconciliation may be unsuccessful include the Generate Pension Reports indicator has not been set to yes, and the Reconcile button has not yet been clicked. This is an example of an attempted reconciliation that was unsuccessful. You can see that a new tab has appeared in red, the Exceptions tab. When we click on the Exceptions tab, it will show the exception that stopped the reconciliation. In this example, the exception is error. Please resolve all eForm 119 requests for 2017 before proceeding. This is one of the most common reasons why a reconciliation would not be successful. If this happens, you will need to check for the following. Were all required eForm 119 requests completed? Were all eForm 119 adjustments processed? Were all eForm 119 requests for inactive members deleted? To check what is causing the reconciliation to fail, we need to review each tab again. The first tab is clear. All members are appearing under Section A completed. We can move on to the Other tab and see if the issue is there. In the Other tab, we can see that there is 1 under the eForm 119 adjustments. This has to be 0 in order to reconcile. To determine which member eForm 119 adjustment is outstanding, click on the View link. The list will provide additional details and will allow you to review the request. If the adjustment is required, submit it in order to override the originally reported information. If this is a duplicate or not required, delete the request. Once you've deleted or submitted the request, you will need to refresh the dashboard to update the totals in the Other tab. As all sections are now 0, you can continue checking the remainder of the tabs and try reconciling again. When your group has reconciled, the ANR 125 Form 119 RPP and RCA reconciliation report will be generated and sent. It will also be available in e-access under the dashboard. This report summarizes total remittances, total contributions reported by member, credit and/or invoice information, and interest, if any. A credit will occur if contributions remitted are greater than contributions reported. In order to recover this credit, you will need to short remit on your next monthly remittance. It is important to recover credits, as you don't want it to carry over into the following year, as this will pose challenges when you try to balance your contributions in the following reconciliation year. An invoice will generate if the contributions you have remitted are less than the contributions reported. To clear an invoice, you must include payment with your next monthly remittance. Interest may be applicable on your invoice or credit balance, depending on when you reconcile. If you reconcile before March 1st, no interest will be applied. If you reconcile March 1st onwards, interest will be calculated on your credit or invoice. The interest will be applied from February 1st to the end of the month prior to reconciliation. An ANR 126 Summary of Form 119 Adjustments for Closed Years report will be generated if an adjustment to a member's previously reported eForm 119 data is made after the year has been reconciled. This report, similar to the ANR 125, will indicate any credit or invoice that results from that adjustment. It will also detail the changes made to the member's record that resulted in the credit or invoice. During this presentation, you have learned how to review and understand dashboard totals, how to balance your contributions, how to generate pension reports, and how to reconcile. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Thank you.